Welcome to your known unknown, where Source and I will help to shed light on what's unknown for you. Happy new moon in Capricorn. That's what today's reading is going to be drawing energies from. See what messages and guidance your self has for you. Yeah, let's get to it. Let's into it and let's pull some cards. We're going to be doing a different style reading. We're just opening up with some tarot. We're going to see what it is this new moon wants to pull in for us today. Angels, spirits, ancestors, universe, Nine of Pentacles reversed. Recently or presently, there's this energy of lacking drive, lacking creation. The energies want us to know and see that there's been stagnicity. Something good to let go of during this new moon. It's really like the darkness and the shadow coming through. This is a hold up in your personal reality. It's kind of like a standstill. A standstill with the Six of Cups on the bottom of the deck. An emotional fulfillment standstill. So whatever that is to you, for me, mine's like creation, material creation. I really flow through the day if I don't hold up at all, if I don't get stagnant, if I don't sit still, kind of thing. For you, it could be something else. It could be if you don't have I don't know, it could be anything you want. If you don't have any projects, if you don't have any connection you want, if you don't have something, that's it for you though. There's like a emotional fulfillment lacking, and that could be in the recent past, that could be here in the present, something you're experiencing. That is a current demon gripping onto our reality, and it's not helping us, not allowing us to create, to feel fulfilled. I feel like a lot of the mental traumas hold us back, the experiences that are traumatic, to whatever degree that is. I say traumatic as a descriptive word, an adjective, and not as a word with such a negative connotation to it. It's just a word. It has context and implications, but in this context it is just a word to label something that we can all be familiar with, which is the word trauma. 4:44 on the clock. And with that, these mental burdens these mental holdups, cause emotional hiccups, so to say. It's not like a hiccup, it's kind of like a slide, these low points. Yeah. And it just causes a lot of turbulence. There's not a whole lot of steadfast in here. I'm seeing surface focus, surface level focus. And that's a really what's the word? I'm just trying to be really careful about the words I pick. It's a really unbalanced focus. Anyways, here in this present transitional new moon energy in specific, right in the middle of the reading, we have the King of Pentacles, and it is being guided by the moon reversed. We also have the Ace of Wands, they said. So that's good. You're aware of this unfulfillment, unsatisfaction in your life, in your current reality and perception, and you're just like, nah. Or you're going to be. And you're going to start to understand and discipline, especially with this Capricorn energy. Really, discipline is self-love. And I mean, I'll be the first to tell you, I love discipline, but discipline sucks. Especially when you're not your best self. And I can relate to that. I think we all put a lot of weight on ourselves. And I think a lot of our fatigue, our stress, our worries, our fears, we put them on ourselves. And that's the hardest lesson to get over. I feel like the more you realize and become self-aware of yourself, you should be healing, but you're not. You're deteriorating almost. It's like you see all the stuff as you're reawakened, and then you see all the bad things and you're like, oh my god, I have so much work to do. It's very defeating. And you're over that. You're there, you're already aware of it, and it's just been this dull, blunt object knocking around for so long, just tap, 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 and you're like, I've been so patient, but I've been slipping because that uphill grind doesn't really stop. It doesn't. So what's really happening is we're starting to kind of be aware of the cycles that we're experiencing, understanding that it really is just making the honest choice for your alignment this time. And that spiral that we're experiencing this way, is also going this way too. So it's like you're not really in the same mental state that you were in, and you are actually like, instead of here, you're actually up here. It just feels like you're here because you're experiencing a lot of the same energies as here, because you're under judgment. You're under focus by the universe. You are being tested to see what it is that you are capable of handling out of your manifestations and dreams. The universe says yes, 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 yes all the time. And wants to make sure that you can handle the things that you can handle. You have to level up, they say. And I don't know. I feel like without guidance or being in some kind of cult, I don't really think skipping levels is much of an opportunity unless you're gifted from the universe itself. So it's another thing. But you're creating, with these cards, coming back to the cards, you're kind of creating your own pentacles now. Or you're doing it through, you're feeling your own abundance. You're starting to fill your own cup. You're no longer this Six of Cups energy that is great, but it's focused outwardly, very outwardly. This King of Pentacles, yes, you are focused outwardly, but it's shining your inward outward. I have the moon reversed. I feel like you could be doing better of not thinking so deeply about it. I feel like you could be doing a little bit better of more going with the flow, but who cares? You're diligent, and the cards say it's kind of time to be a little diligent. It's the right time to be diligent. It's the good time to be engaging in yourself and the things that fill up your time positively and progressively, further progressing your experience 1% at a time. Show us what energies are coming in. Thank you, Moon Energy. Thank you, Capricorn, Father Saturn. Show us what we need to see. You're not running out of time, but don't waste your time. There's disappointment coming in. You have a Five of Cups, and the energies here. Current energy. So as of the mental state and mindset that you are currently in, what's expected for an outcome is the Five of Cups. What that means is this present context that we are being, you're going to experience disappointment somehow, some way. Somehow, some way, I feel like you will they're saying let down, self to self let down is coming. It's the potentiality now. Dun dun dun. No, I mean, what else are we used to, But we don't want that anymore. We don't want that anymore, right? Right. Are we disciplined enough to change that? Do we even know what that means? And how to do that? I think that's the difference between people like me and the rich, I think that what I heard it perfectly. What somebody said, that the rich were born to, be business owners, and they were educated to be business owners, whereas we were educated to be employees. And that's our reality. That's the mindset. Let's figure that shit out. Let's figure out how to do it. Can we discipline ourselves enough? Where are you pulling your magic from? Where from yourself are you pulling your magic from? So many things for me pinpoint to a few things that I'm a little, they just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. Because why? Because I know they'll be good for me. Yeah, ego, get over it. How? Where are we pulling our magic from? Where's it gonna be? How are you going to push yourself? That's what this energy is telling us. That's what Father Saturn wants to say. He wants to say your karma is a balance. What are you doing here now? And not like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? We're here for you, kind of thing. I'm here for you. We don't want this disappointment. However, after disappointment should outweigh more success, so is that correct here? We have a choice. Right. They're saying we have a choice. So, what do we want to do? Shuffle more cards real quick. So, what do we want to do? We have the right mindset right now, it looks like. And that's what I'm feeling. And we lead to disappointment on a Five of Cups. I know it's not the best energy you want to hear right now, but we're figuring this out. We're not done yet. We're going to see how and why this goes, because I know the message is always perfectly met. Somehow, some way, even if it's bad news, it resonates. And it's comprehensible, and it becomes tangible, and it becomes acceptable, and you just experience, and you're grateful for it. I feel that the tarot really helps offer an ease to the chaos of not knowing, the unknown. We're here to know your unknown, you know? So don't you know? Seven of Pentacles. I see. So maybe this energy that we're in right now is also referring to a little bit lacking of connection to self within your strive and focus for what this surface level desires. Ego. Your ego. Simply it. That's simply it. It's your ego. It's not your inner self. It's not your higher self. It's your ego. And it feels good. And that's the problem. That's the issue. Growth doesn't happen in comfort for anything. We have the Seven of Pentacles, and he's growing a plant. And that's kind of, I think, what needs to happen is you gotta start doing what it is you're supposed to do. And it's not like what your purpose is. You just gotta really start to engage in something. That's it. Just start to engage in something. That's it. Just, like, do it. Like, actually do it. Like that Shia LaBeouf meme. Do it. Do it. He wasn't kidding. I feel his pain. I feel your pain, brother. Do it. Do it. You have the Three of Cups reversed 2 in this segment. Yeah, you are overindulging. I was hearing too much of a good thing. Not too much of a good thing, because now it's no longer serving you. And this thing was great. It's like you've mastered one thing in your life, and you're having to learn how to start up anew. Maybe you're not actually outwardly starting up anew, like materialistically. Maybe you're starting up a new discipline, mindset, or habit, or something. It could be an emotional change. It could be a relational change to somebody, like a social change. It could be something. But you were so overindulgent in one phase that, what's the term? During healing, during self-awareness and understandings, you have cultivated a maladaptive trait, basically, so to say. And it ain't bad. It just is. And maybe it's causing these hiccups in awareness for you. And that's okay, because that's what we're here for. So we're made aware of this now, Spirit. Correct. We see that a good transitional understanding of this would be more to introspect and reflect during this darkened period in the moon, especially. Just sit and close your eyes. Give yourself 5 minutes. Tell yourself in your head, with your imagination, literally, dear Saturn, dear Capricorn, dear whatever you want to do. It doesn't have to be pertaining to Saturn and Capricorn. It could be, say, dear God, dear baby Jesus, anything you want. And you just ask for the clarity, the guidance, the direction. You say please and thank you, and you're very respectful and polite because they're your elders. Respect your elders. They love that. And you can be cute with them. If you want to go the extra mile, you could unwrap a chocolate and leave it out for them, for like a couple days while the new moon energy's there. And then if you want to, I don't know, go bury it, or if you can't, throw it away. I don't know. Whatever you want. It's really that simple. Just whatever you feel like doing. Sometimes I just do the bare minimum, because that's all I'm feeling like I'm okay doing, and I don't want to push myself and like overstrain myself. That's a lacking of discipline a little bit, but also spirits, and they understand our comfortable set. They love us, dude. They say yes to everything. You can't make a wrong choice. That's the only time I want to use that word can't, is you cannot make a bad choice. You can't. You can only make a choice. Period. Good or bad doesn't matter. Left or right. That's what matters. It's up or down or left or right. It's not good or bad. So things outweigh themselves. So now we have this understanding that maybe introspecting to find, if you don't know, what it is you like to do. Get a piece of paper, say all the things, write down all the things you enjoy doing. Go through it again. Circle the top 5 that you're like, that would be fun, that would be fun, that would be fun. Doesn't matter if you can do it now or not. Don't think practically on it. Dream big. Just dream big. And then look at it as often as you want, or set it and forget it. Whatever you believe works best for you. That's what the intuition functions as. You. So we're made aware of this, Spirit. Is there a new outcome with any of this here? Should I pull more future cards? Give us an energy of what to expect. Let's see if any of this has offered guidance. So we've overindulged, right? And no longer does that kind of functioning serve us. That kind of pattern does not work for us anymore. It doesn't resonate in our new reality that we have been emerged into. We've graduated into, and we've deserved this. It's just, we're not used to it, and it's probably uncomfortable still because things take time. We're very impatient in this generation. Things take time, a lot longer than you think, unless you're proficient at creating your reality. If you're not, and you've just been a kind soul in your life, then you kind of go with the flow a lot more, and spirit and the universe, divine timing takes a lot of patience, we'll just say, so when things work out for you perfectly, it's perfectly. Otherwise, you are resourceful, resilient, adaptable, flexible, patient. Like, you learn all these virtues, so you're a good person if you don't get all the crap you want. Isn't that ironic? It's crazy. I'm not saying you're a bad person if you get everything you want. You can be a great person too. I'm just saying, like, in that context, yeah, it kind of plays out that way a little bit. But you learn all these things. So the patterning doesn't work for us anymore. We have to become something else. We have to try to become something else, because that something else is going to be better than you have been. You don't want to be what you have been. You've been comfortable, you've gotten this far, but you're in a new chapter in life, wherever you're at. You could be in the third chapter in life, the second or the first, watching this video. It doesn't matter. Some people get a fourth. The ones who really take care of themselves, Major chapters. Well, I just call them chapters because it's the best way to refer to it. It's more like evolutions, kind of. It's like you're kind of like a Pokemon, Like, we go through things. You become middle-aged from a child. You become elderly, like that. And we all get to learn various points in our life too. That's pretty cool too. So we're aware these patterns are not working. They are superficial comparatively. They were a passion then, but now they no longer serve you. So, new outcome. New outcome. 10 of Cups. Harmony card. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you for receiving this, because we're shifting this expected future, this is expected... I don't want to use the word future. It sounds dumb, but that's kind of what we're doing here. This future experience, this expectance into harmony with what? Whatever it is you're doing. And you don't have to leap into it, and that it doesn't have to be all grandiose and everything. You can take it one step at a time. It's just you're doing it. And in my opinion, that's the discipline right there. Consistency. Not depth, consistency. Passion will come later. I remember I used to make music. I started producing music when I was like 18. Like electronic, like computer music. Hip hop, beats, whatever. I even played guitar. I played a bunch of stuff. But I remember how tough it was to start. I actually had to really think about it at first, how tough it was to start. Now I remember how tough it was to start. I didn't actually feel confident opening up my computer and playing those programs for probably 6 months before I even got them, or after I even got them. And then all of a sudden one day, in my memory, all I remember is just being decent and getting like this beat pad machine, and I could play that thing really well. It wasn't so button clicky, and it totally changed my flow up, right? And then I fell into music passionately, routinely, every day for, I don't know, at least 10 to 12 years, producing music. I never went far with it. I had a lot of fun with it. I had a lot of friends around it. We played like a show or two here and there. I played some shows and stuff. But then, for lack of a better reason and explanation, I fell out of it. All right? I had to swap it up. And I swapped it up for some other things that I was really good at. I had to swap a lot of things up, is what I'm getting at. And finding new creative outlets, it's different now. It's very similar where things are tough to get started. Like I get that same kind, and that's some shadow work. That's some things that rise up and I got to figure out. And I do figure them out because we overcome them. Why and how? Because I'm here making a video right now. And that's proof in the pudding, you know? And you have your own outlets too. And I have other outlets too that are, I'm learning, I enjoy more and more. That's the thing, is I'm learning, I'm enjoying these things more and more. It's unknown. It's anticipated. It's also very different. And only in hindsight do I ever realize how grateful I am for pushing a little further each time. Like back then, I just used to know that how to do it. Now I'm like learning these things, and it's a really interesting new door, new chapter that we're opening up. And we got to find the harmony within that. And to do that, you got to discipline yourself to be able to do whatever it is you want and need to do, because that's how manifestation works. It's a co-creation. It takes two to tango, baby. And when the universe is saying yes, yes, yes to all your wants and needs, and maybe you're even phrasing them right, but what's holding you back? It's you. You're the one that's holding you back somehow, some way. The universe extends its blessing out for you. You have to go and reach it. You have to learn in whatever it is that you're manifesting. You have to learn what that means to you, to reach your arm out and grab it and accept it. Okay? If that means releasing and doing nothing, and you have to fully surrender and release control, that's your form of reaching and grabbing it. If you have to work out every single day because somehow you know financial gain is connected to financial wealth or physical gain, then do it. Stick your arm out, discipline yourself, grab that blessing. If it is learning how to be more resourceful, if it is taking leaps of faith in life and changing jobs or starting jobs or something, if it's trying that new medium that interests you, but you've never really given it the time of day, really, you've just had it on your mind for a while, what this energy is saying is find a way to harmonize that or begin to initiate harmonizing with that. We want you to have your frequency and vibration. You can have your cake and eat it too. You got to tune in though. You got to resonate, and then you got to be sound with it, and that takes a little bit of time. Why? Because you take a little bit of time to habitualize your routines, to habitualize new mindsets, and to habitualize new lifestyles and patterns. It takes time. It's just the way it is. You can try to do biohacks, and I totally am all for them. You can try to hypnotize and stuff. It's just a lot of that throws you through the ride. Whereas wouldn't it just kind of be more experiential and more honorable if you did it on your own, at your own pace, and received it at your own leisurely experiential wants? Like, that's what I'm learning, is I'm learning that chaos wasn't fun, and it's really the peace that we want. But at first, peace was pretty boring. It was nice, but the chaos was addicting, and that was the lifestyles we were living. I think that's the lifestyles a lot of us have as we're growing up from these one generation in particular to another. I just think that that's the way it goes, and what it's cultivating is some pretty damn aware, woke-ass people, in the world nowadays. That and CIA document leaks and shit like that definitely helps us all illuminate our mindsets a bit more. So harmony, it's beautiful. Changing up the game. Changing up the game. Okay. Just had to look something up real quick. Had to make sure. And Spirit's like, no. We are good with those tarot cards there. I'm going to pull... I'm going to show us what it is that we need to see. I have a Blind Spot Tarot, Blind Spot Oracle, sorry. And this is going to show us something that we're not seeing. So show us what it is, Spirit, that one thing in our blind spots that we need to be made more aware of. To help navigate through this, to reach that harmony. What is it that I'm not seeing? Me personally, my bad, guys. I wasn't thorough enough. Right? Right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. $54. Right off the bat, this sigil looks like a music staff. Just saying. Whatever it's called. I even took music. I'm sitting here talking about music and I'm like, yeah, clef note, staff, whatever. Don't judge me. Alright, it's kind of a long reading. It's called The Positive. Can't see my eyebrows. The Positive. If you have drawn this sigil, what you do not see is that you are preventing yourself from the awareness of and experience of positive things. You have decided that if you allow yourself to be aware of or express these positive things, it will lead to negative things. This sigil has come to remind you that the truth is the opposite. This whole time I'm reading this and I'm just like, oh man, you've experienced some pretty heavy traumas. Like I said, they've created these maladaptive mindsets that are just, they're there. And I'm sorry they're there. I can relate. And they're not fun. But they're definitely navigatable. And they're definitely understandable. Yeah. And they're easy to harmonize with and understand. You know, you start to develop ADHD or whatever you want to label it all as and identify yourself as. Well, what if one day you sat with yourself and you're just like, I have all of it. And then accept that. And you're like, oh, I have all of it. Yeah. You won't really be going around telling people you have all of it. Nobody's going to care and think you're crazy, right? You're like, okay, I'm fine. Yeah, I think that's a lot of what kind of awakening is like. Anyways, sorry. Most people draw this sigil when they are preventing themselves from feeling things like happiness, joy, hope, positive expectation, or excitement. It is easy to think that happiness is always a good thing, but the truth is, the subconscious mind does not always agree. For some of us, happiness is like a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It hovers in the future like an unreachable goal that we dream of, but that we don't think we can reach. Sorry. How did we end up this way? Because we suffered so much in our lives, happiness began to feel false. Because we felt blindsided by painful experiences. And when that happens, especially when we are feeling good, we start to feel like happiness turns us into sitting ducks. We start to feel as if happiness is vulnerability that leaves us open for attack at any moment. Also, many of us feel as if there is always a give and take in life, and so, if we are happy, we are convinced that it means that unhappiness is inevitably around the corner. I said that. I said that earlier. Boom. I said that earlier. And it doesn't have to be that way. That's a mindset shift. It's all a mindset. Here are some important questions to ask yourself if you can hold on to happiness. Oh, if you can't hold on to happiness. I'm so sorry. I got a light over here. It's just tough to read it all, you know. Yeah. Here's a few questions, important questions. Did it feel like the happiness of one or both of my parents conflicted with my happiness as a child? Question 2. Did it feel like my happiness competed with their happiness? Did it feel like there was no way that both of us could be happy at the same time? Did it feel like either I was happy or my parents were unhappy, or my parent was happy and I was unhappy? When we feel as if happiness conflicts with the happiness of our primary authority figures as a child, we grow up to feel as if our happiness is at odds with the universe at large. We feel as if we are in a giant chess match where the universe is against our happiness and wants to punish us for our happiness. We feel as if in order for the universe or God to be happy, we must be unhappy. Therefore, it will make us unhappy at any cost. When we cannot feel happy, no matter how hard we try, and we feel as if happiness is false and only negative emotions are real, what is really happening is that we have learned to fear happiness. We think that happiness is dangerous. Most often because we have been blindsided by emotional, mental, or physical pain when we were enjoying ourselves. And perhaps even more than that, we have repeatedly been blindsided by such pain when we were enjoying ourselves. Basically, what is happening for many people who cannot be happy is that the very feeling of joy and happiness itself becomes the trigger for the traumatic stress response. Why is this a problem? Because you are now fighting with your own survival instinct to be happy. The wires in your mind have become crossed to such a degree that your own being is trying to keep you feeling good by keeping you from feeling good. The strongest instinct in the physical body is the drive to avoid pain for the sake of survival. The minute your mind associates pleasure with pain, your brain wires itself to avoid positive feeling states for the sake of feeling positive. When this has happened, we start to feel like our own mind is working against us and we are being prevented from happiness in every way, as if our being is an enemy living within. But understanding this dynamic should give you a bit of relief, because it means that your own being loves you so much that ironically its motivation for keeping you unhappy is so that you will feel good. You will stay in those patterns, you know. It is common for people who have been hurt to build walls between themselves and others to keep pain out. But the downside is that they also keep love and happiness out. But there is another kind of wall built by those who have been hurt even more, which is designed to keep good feeling things like love and happiness out, but to keep pain in. The most common reason why we would keep pain in is a dynamic that begins in childhood. When we were young, we are rewarded for being good and punished for being bad. We learn very quickly that the only way to be loved is to be good. Since we need love more than we need food or water, our very survival depends on us being good. But there is the problem. What if we are born into a family with parents who show us a great deal of love and support and even reward us when we are hurt emotionally or physically? We learn that pain is good. We learn that pain is good. We learn that since love and support and reward go to the person who is hurting, there must be goodness or virtue in pain. It is good to show support for children who are in pain, but this support goes sour when we are only shown support when we are in pain. It causes us to get the message that feeling good means being bad. We begin to feel shame and fear in association with happiness. Being bad means being in love, unloved. No Freudian slips here. Being bad means being unloved and thus ultimately dying. And so we begin to see feeling bad as good and feeling good as bad. This is kind of getting to be a tongue twister, I'm not going to lie. We think that without pain, we will be forsaken completely. Often for those of us who suffer chronically, pain is our buffer, which we use to keep ourselves safe. Not only does it prevent us from feeling loss and shock, it also acts like a cushion. For most beings on earth, joy is their baseline, and they experience temporary bouts of unhappiness and pain. But for some of us, especially those of us who find our way to self-help and spirituality, the tables have often turned. Suffering is our baseline, and we experience temporary bouts of happiness and pleasure. When this is the case, happiness feels like a fleeting temporary illusion. It begins to feel not real, whereas unhappiness feels like a more permanent, uninevitable truth of life itself. If suffering is your baseline, I want you to ask yourself two very important and personal questions. Try to avoid them with as much try to answer them with as much brutal honesty as possible. Forgive my slip-ups there. I don't believe in accidents too, so it's funny that that's happening, and I'm like, it's a little embarrassing. Two brutal, honest answers to these questions. What is my positive intention for being unhappy or suffering? What is my positive intention for being unhappy or suffering? What bad things would happen if I were always happy and full of joy? What bad things would happen? Most of us think that we are trying incessantly to be happy, but we are not even aware that we have a subconscious motivation to be unhappy. We are in essence engaging in a tug of war between our conscious mind and that wants happiness and our subconscious mind that doesn't, because of what it thinks that happiness entails. Another potential, if you have drawn this sigil, it is that you are suppressing a positive about yourself, such as a positive character trait or talent. We often assume that people only suppress, deny, reject, and disown bad things. This is not the case. Imagine a little girl who loves to sing. If this little girl grows up in a family that believes singing is a waste of time and that the little girl has to get her head out of the clouds and do the thing that will ensure her future, she may experience enough pain relative to the disapproval of her family when she focuses on singing that she may suppress her incredible singing voice. As she grows up, she may even suppress the awareness that she can sing, along with the memories of loving to sing. This sigil may have come to you as a calling to rediscover and re-own a positive aspect of yourself that you have stuffed under the floorboards of your own consciousness. The sigil has come to make you aware that in this situation you are not letting yourself see, feel, hear, understand, or experience the positive. Not necessarily all of the above, but you know what I mean. We're saying them. Like, you just don't get happiness at all, bro. Like, not at all. That's funny. No. You deserve to express your truest self. especially those amazing positive parts about you. And you deserve to feel safe when you feel happy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I said the thank you, thank you. It wasn't in the book. You should say thank you too, because that was meant for you, from you, by you, to you, for you, again. From me to you. Wow. Are we complete with those, Spirit? Thank you so much. So, really hit home, huh? There is this old pattern that no longer serves you. This old mindset, this old hedonism pattern. Something that you are just used to that does not actually fulfill you, that is being shifted, whether by self or from others or from source. It's being shifted. And what we want is for it to align in harmony and not disappointment. Right? And we're going to do that by cultivating the happiness that you deserve to have, that you deserve to experience. And I believe that you are aware of what those holdups are, what those chains are. I believe that you are very aware. And I also believe to the depths of my core that you 100% have the strength and the support to get it done, taken care of, and moved forward with yourself. 100%. You might slip up, you might fail, but failure is only learning another way. You're only callousing up. You're only getting it. Try it again. Do it again. Whatever it is. To release whatever. Cut it out, man. It's worth it. It will be worth it. And not even will be. It is worth it. So we can harmonize. So we can see and perceive harmony. So we can feel harmonious. Number 6. Someone or something works against you. And what I just kind of heard was it's self to self that's working against you. And as a reflection of what that sigil card is saying, maybe you're the inner blocking that's happening to you. Okay? How do we get over these inner blockages? First off, no joke, gratitude journal. Discipline your ass to do a gratitude journal every day. Non-negotiable. Start there. That's all you got to do. That's it. I promise you that's it. Your whole mind shift will swap. If you want to add a little extra magic, every time you're about to eat a meal, Say thank you for this meal, and sprinkle some little imaginative pixie dust on it. I swear to God, it'll change your whole life. You will start to feel so happier throughout your days. You'll start smiling. That is also, a little positive. And so, yes, you can experience that every day. Also, knowing that throughout experiencing that, you are going to have days that challenge you. Okay? So when you have a hard day and you're like, but I've been trying to be all happy and shit, and you have a hard day, buck up, buck up, buck up. We got to take care of it. Buck up. But anyways, as a reflection of this, something works against you. I'm going to say something works against you first. Something's working against you. I resonate with this. Something's working against me. I don't know what or where it is, but I know where it is and I know what it is. You know what I mean? So do you. You know yours. If you don't know yours, try going and asking somebody that you talk to all the time. Just go up and ask them. Be like, hey, I want to ask you something, and I want you to be dead honest. What do you think is wrong with me? For real. Try it. And see what they say. Don't take it personally, but take it to heart. Like, listen. Like, this is a safe space, and you can't react, you can't flip out. You got to be a grown-up. Just be a grown-up. Don't take my advice. Be your own grown-up. Anyways, as a reflection of whatever this sigil's talking about, it is mirroring in your reality. And so when it says someone or something is working against you, let's just say the devil works in all kinds of ways. The devil works in all kinds of ways. You're creating your algorithm out of ego in all types of ways. That ego is that pattern that you've resided in this whole time that the sigil's referring to, where it's saying maybe you have a mindset that is blocking you from experiencing the realness of positivity and what that can be. And what that can be. All right, you've had tastes of it. It does not stay the same. You try again. Okay? Okay. If you don't get it and you're not getting it, try something new. I don't know. Try something new. I want to say get therapy. Like, that could be a good thing. I don't know. I'm going to stop right there on that one. But there's always an option. Is all I'm getting at. Somehow, some way, and especially if you pray. I think that rhymed for a reason. Especially if you pray, the answers will present themselves. You don't have to pray, especially if you believe. Like, it depends on so many different facets. But yeah, pray, figure it out. So the devil's working in these mysterious ways, putting people up against you now in your reality. Why? Because right from the beginning of the reading with the Nine of Pentacles reverse, and it's just saying, like, you've been slipping. The Six of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles reverse. You've been slipping back a little because it did get hard, and your ego, yourself, loves you so much. It said, it's okay, go be comfortable. There's no shame in that. There's no shame in making yourself comfortable so you don't fucking snap, No shame in that at all. Absolutely valid, absolutely supported. Your spirits and your subconscious self, your ego self that wants to keep you comfortable, love you and support you so much. You have no idea. It's just you, this conscious you, the I that you want to identify as, is balancing between the two of them. Okay? Balancing between what you're like, but spirits, guides, ancestors, I want to be the best me. They're like, we know, it's okay. And then your ego's just like, but don't forget me. And you're like, but I love little me. I need little me. Come with me, little me too. And they're like, let go of him. He'll be fine. Or her. They'll be fine. And you're like, no. I love little me. I love mini me. You know? Who doesn't love mini me? Alright, we're complete. I hope that reading hits home for you. I hope that it gives you any form of validation, guidance, whatever it is you need to be the best you possible. Again, this message was brought to you by you, for you, from you. And you just tuned in, resonated, and are now hopefully sound. Go ahead and take a deep breath. These messages are here for you if you choose to accept them, if you choose to accept this as your message. If you do, thank you for receiving me. Even if not, thank you for sharing the experience. Happy new moon in Capricorn. We're going to take a deep breath and try to lock in these energies, and I'm going to take a deep breath to disconnect. I'm going to send out some positive Reiki symbols to you. That's kind of what I've been doing here, just to make sure that everybody gets a little extra love here in the ether. A little extra feeling. Especially if you can feel it, that's supportive. That's it. So, deep breath with me in. I'm going to hold it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Until next time, y'all have a great new moon.